Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up our Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to cook some Dutch oven beef stew. So let's get started. Okay, I've lit a fire in the firebox of my Kamado Joe Classic, so I'm going to set the divide and conquer flexible cooking rack in place. And over here I've got the accessory rack down on the lower position here, so I'm going to set my cast iron grate on the accessory rack. I don't want it down too terribly low, so we're going to raise it up just a hair on there. We're going to let this side get hot enough to sear on, so I'm going to close the lid and we're going to let the dome temperature in the Classic come up to about 400 degrees. In order to bring the dome temperature up to 400 degrees, I'm going to probably close my bottom vent about halfway, and on the top vent I'm going to close the slider probably all the way to start with, and I'm going to open the daisy wheel fully. And if we need to warm up more, I'll open the slider a little bit, or if I need to cool it down, we'll close the daisy. Okay, I've gotten my griddle here nice and hot, and I'm going to put a ½ pound of chopped bacon on here, and we're going to cook that up first. Okay, before this bacon gets fully cooked, I'm going to go ahead and take it off. We want to leave it a little soft, and I'm going to put it in a dish, and we're going to let that drain over paper towels for a bit until we move on to our next step. In our next step here, we're going to start searing off our beef. I've got about 3 pounds of chuck roast that I've cubed up fairly coarsely here, and we're going to put it on here and sear it off on all sides. And after that's on there, I'm going to hit it with a little salt. And a little black pepper, and I'm going to do this in 2 batches. And now that I have that second batch seared, I'm going to just take it off and set it aside. And the next thing I've got is 2 yellow onions that I've chopped up that we're going to caramelize here on the griddle. Gonna try not to lose too many of those down in the grill. After these onions start to get caramelized, I've got 4 cloves of freshly minced garlic that I'm going to mix in with that. Okay, and after my onions look about like that, I'm going to take them off. In the next part, I've got 3 carrots and 3 stalks of celery that we're just going to put on here and char up just a little bit. Okay, after these carrots and celery bits have had a chance to get a little char, we're going to take them off. And the final bit we're going to put on here is about 1 pound or so of sliced mushrooms, and we're going to cook these down until most of the moisture is gone from these, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, after these mushrooms get cooked down to about that level, we're going to take them off. Then I'm going to use my lifting tool. We're going to lift this cast iron griddle out of here and reconfigure. I'm going to set both halves of my heat deflector on the accessory rack, and then both halves of my grill grates on top. And then we're going to set our Dutch oven right in the middle. Then we're going to dump our beef back into the Dutch oven, and this Dutch oven is cold. The next thing we're going to do is dump our onions in, and then the bacon that we cooked, or par cooked, and then our carrots and celery. We're going to add 2 cups of Guinness beer, 1 cup of beef broth, about 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 bay leaves, and about 4 sprigs of fresh thyme. And then I'm just going to mix all that up really well. And if you noticed, I left out the mushrooms. The mushrooms are going in a little bit later, so what we're going to do is we're going to close the grill up. We're going to leave this uncovered for about 20 minutes or so and let this come up to a simmer and get the grill stabilized at about 300 degrees. Okay, we've about got this guy stabilized right at about 300 degrees, and this is starting to simmer. So I'm going to put the lid on the Dutch oven, and we're going to keep this going at around 300 degrees for 2.5 to 3 hours before we come back for our next step. Okay guys, we've been going here for about 2.5 hours or so after we brought this up to a simmer, and I've just checked on this, and this beef is getting close to being ready. I wish you could smell this. So we're going to move on here to the next stage of this cook, and what we're going to do next is those mushrooms that we cooked are going in now, and then we're also going to add 1 pound, or roughly 1 pound, of pearl onions. I have capped these and I've peeled them. We're going to mix those right in here and stir this up really good, and I'm probably going to let this cook another 45 minutes or so. We'll be back and have a check on it then. This is really smelling amazing. I can't wait to get this off of here and taste it. So I'm going to put the lid back on and go for another 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour. I'll let you know when we get back. Okay guys, it's not going to be much longer, maybe 15 or 20 more minutes till this is ready to pull off, but I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this as well. I just did a little taste test, and it needs maybe about 2 dashes of salt in here to finish that off. So we'll let that cook in, and I can't wait to get this off of here, man. This stuff looks amazing. That beef is actually falling apart there, so it's obviously ready to go. We're going to give it just a few more minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, I believe we're ready to go. Let's take the lid off here and have a look. Man, that's going to be absolutely amazing. Have a little taste. Yep, we're all set. Gonna get this off, take it inside, and see what it tastes like. Okay guys, it's time to taste this. I've got a couple of small slices of a freshly cooked French baguette there, and we're gonna dump on a nice heaping helping of our beef stew, and let's have a taste of that. Okay guys, this really smells amazing. So let's start off with a little taste of this this beef. Guys, that is absolutely fantastic. And these pearl onions, I can't wait to finish this. What we've got here is basically a beef bourguignon recipe, but instead of using the red wine, I've used Guinness. And I'm really glad that I did, because that changes this significantly. It has a really good flavor to it. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe. Follow us on Twitter @Kamado Joe. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.